Hi there, my name's Ali. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today we will be doing a little bit of prep poses for our downward facing dog. So if you are not subscribed already, please do, much appreciated. And we'll get going here. All you need is your yoga mat. So in downward facing dog, there are a lot of restrictions that happen, whether it be in the shoulders or the wrists or the hips or the hamstrings. And I'll show you the different ways that I have seen downward facing dog and options that you can take. So let's warm up the body first for downward facing dog. So we'll prep the body for this posture. I would start out right away with just doing some wrist warm-ups. So maybe just a little bit of movements through the wrists, because that is what gets a lot of restriction, or people get sore wrists sometimes in downward dog and plank pose. Okay, inhale, let's reach up. Good, and exhale, arms down. Inhale, palms to the sky, interlace the fingers. And exhale. Good. And meanwhile, I'm just using my chin down as well, just warming up the neck. Inhale, one last one. Exhale, release. Good. There's some rolling of the wrists. We also want to work with opening up the spine, because quite often the spine rounds at the top of the shoulders in downward facing dog. Okay, so we'll start just by doing some cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, tailbone down, belly pulls in, press the palms in so you're straightening out through the elbows. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath in. And exhale. Okay, so let's bring our left arm just down to the ground. Now, if this is too much for you, you can always grab a block and put it right by where the head is. Or come all the way down to the shoulder, side of the head. Breathe into the middle of the back and the shoulders. Good. Coming out, switching sides. A nice consistent breath in and out through the nose. Good. Okay, so let's just press our toes in for a second, sit back and shake our arms out. So we'll just want to warm up the shoulders, inhaling and exhaling. Now, of course, the hamstrings are also another thing, but let's just get through the shoulders and the side body here with puppy pose. So basically it's like a child's pose, but your hips stay lined up to the knees. Now, if this is a lot for you to kind of bring your chest all the way down, I would just bring your elbows down first and work with that by opening up the shoulders. Otherwise, straightening out. Eventually, bring your forehead down, or even the chin to really open up through the chest and the front of the neck. Okay, anytime you feel anything weird in the shoulders or pinching, just come out and readjust. Breathing 2 more times. Good. And now bring your hands back to about shoulder distance so your shoulders are lined up to the wrists. And then come right into your plank posture. We want to create a bit of core strength as well before we go into this downward facing dog. Okay, so strong legs, navel center's coming in and up, breathing, pressing the hands in. We're just warming up and strengthening the wrists as well. Good. Okay, so bring the knees down. Let's bring this right foot forward. Hands can come down to the ground. The back knee is on the ground. So we'll just warm up through the hips by going forward and back. So you're bending the front knee and then straightening the front leg. Okay. Now, if you need blocks, bring your blocks beside either side of this foot to support the lift in the spine. Inhaling and exhaling, warming up through the hips and the hamstrings. Good. So let's stop in this half, so Ardha Hanumanasana, so half monkey pose, so basically a half split. You are feeling the sensations in the back body, especially this right hamstring. Okay. Once again, if you need the blocks beside the leg, you can come up so that you're not rounding through the upper back. That's what we want to try to avoid in our downward dog. So keep bringing that heart forward. Good. And let's switch legs. So you can just swing that one around. Bring the left one forward, bending the left knee, getting into the hips, and then straightening and just flow with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Good, let's pause and hold. Now feeling it on the left hamstring, keep lifting the chest, breathing evenly in and out through the nose. Good. Okay, so now I want you to bring yourself just down to your seat. And we'll come into a forward bend. You can either use a strap for around the balls of the feet or hold on to the backs of the legs. I want you to roll the shoulders back, lift up through the chest, pull the belly in a bit, and just feel this movement with the anterior pelvic tilt going forward like this. Okay. Eventually, we want to get to a point where you're either grabbing onto straps or the sides of the feet and pull up the heart and the chest. Good, and then engage through the legs. So you're pressing your thigh bones down and back, maybe a slight internal rotation. So this is what happens in your downward dog when you're pressing the thigh bones back, right? When you're upside down. Okay, so a couple more breaths here. Good. And now bring the legs around. Now I will show you what normally happens when you're just starting out in this posture and what you want to modify for, okay? So I'm firstly going to show you exactly what a downward dog looks like that's aligned and the things to maybe avoid or look for when you are first starting out. Okay, so we prep the body pretty good. We feel pretty warm. So you're at a comfortable distance. So you're not too far where the heels are way off and you're stretching and overstretching the body. Or you're not too close where you're almost just in a standing kind of forward bend. So we want to have enough of a V so that the chest relaxes forward but doesn't dip too far so you're right into the joints. So you don't want to
over and hyperextend the joints either. So really focus on that nice long spine. Now, if this is happening, and I'll show you what I often see when people first start out, they round through the upper back, straighten their legs, and their heels are lifted. Okay? So this is what I want you to do if you feel like you're in this position and you feel like the shoulders are crunching up to the ears. I want you to bend your knees, not out or in, knocking, so in the same direction as the toes, and then lift the hips up. And see how my chest kind of tilts forward a bit? Don't worry so much about the heels being down to the ground. That'll get there eventually. Just keep bending the knees and lifting the hips, pressing the hands in and straightening out through the arms. Eventually that will happen. And then with the shoulders, you'll want to wrap these triceps, starting to bring it around towards your legs, so that this humerus bone, the upper arm bone, can do an external rotation and it rolls outwards. Okay? Because quite often this happens, right? The shoulders are kissing the ears. So we want to roll these outwards so there's a lot more space there. All right? And that's that. That's the prep poses for downward facing dog. Please let me know how it goes in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me on this video. I'll see you on the next one. Namaste.